Hello guys. Today I have a different video. It's gonna be a little bit short, and I guess what I want to tell you guys, it is the progress that I've made while playing this champion. I noticed that there are different things that you have to take into consideration whenever you play this champion. So I hope that you are able to clearly understand what I have to say. Now, first of all, you can go ahead and change between three elements, which is gonna be fire, wind, and ice. Those are the elements that you have. Now you can actually see the description of each one of the. You can hear. Oh, I'm sorry. You can read the description of each one of the elements by checking the details. That is one thing that I noticed a little bit a while ago. Okay, so first of all, there is no scaling for the fire stats for, let's say, for the fire stance. However, in the Chinese server, they actually do have the stats for the elements. So let me give you, whenever you become fire or whenever you manage the element of fire, your one, it's a buff. It's a buff that is going to last 5 seconds. If you have it at level 4, it's going to last 8 seconds. The cooldown on the buff, it's gonna be 15 seconds. But you can reduce it with cooldown reduction. Now, this buff, what it does is that it increases your basic attack damage. It is about 20 at level 1 and then 50 at level 4 with additional 25% of your spell bonus. Now, you actually get additional magic penetration, which is going to start at 15 at level 1 and then it's going to end up at a 30% spell penetration at level 4. Sorry guys, the thing is that I have to read the translated terms and it looks a little bit different. Now this is gonna be for fire. Now if you check into the eyes, the only stats that you're able to see on this case on the description is gonna be wind. But if you go to the eyes elements, you are gonna see that you have different scaling as well. For your one, it actually starts at levels at 70 damage level 1, and then at level 4 you get 220 damage. Again, this is gonna be magic damage. Now whenever you hit something, you actually deal half of the damage to anyone behind the target. That is the description. Yes, it's 35 at level 1, at level 4 is gonna be 95. Now any target that you hit, you're gonna actually mark it and you're gonna deal additional damage to that mark unit. In this case, the description is saying that you will deal additional 50% damage. I am assuming it will be only with ice because when I changed it to a different element, it didn't have any effect. Now your 2, which is pretty strong, it's gonna be 100 damage at level 1 and then 250 at level 4. The cooldown time is 15 seconds and it can go down up to 12 seconds. And it does has a 50% scaling. Oh, the fire, the meteor, it is the strongest ability you have. It is 120 at level 1 and 300 damage at level 4 with 50% scaling. Now you actually live like you leave a field of fire. Anything standing on it is gonna receive 15 damage at level 1 and 45 damage per second at level 4. So that's pretty nice. Now one thing that you have to know is that you can actually cast two different skills at the same time, pretty much. Of course you have to switch between elements. Now the thing that I didn't know is that you can actually cast the same element twice. So that for me it is game changing because you have to understand that you can combo with two of your elements, especially if they're the same element, twice. Now the wind, you already have the scaling for the wind. You can see it at the store. Now the ultimate, even though it usually it's only to level 2, this one you can make it level 3, and let me check that for you guys. Yes, at level 3 you actually get additional stats. For example, you get a attack speed buff. It's 10, 15, and 20 at level 3. And apparently your healing is gonna go from 10% to 20% on level 3. And as you can see here, guys, I am showing that you can cast your spells twice. In this case, it will be the meteor, so that you can deal as much damage as you can. Now, since I received damage, you can heal by changing into your ice element, but it's not gonna proc the heal unless you cast a skill, like right here. The heals never proc unless you cast the skill of the element. Like, you know how every element has a different passive? Well, in order for the passive to be active, you have to use at least one skill of the element that you change to, and that is what is going to proc the ultimate's cooldown. If you don't proc the ultimate's cooldown, you don't have the buff, and the buff lasts for 5 seconds. So that's something you have to know. For example, if I want to heal again, all I have to do is I have to switch back to ice. Even though I have ice, I have to switch back to ice again and cast a skill, and I'll be healed, which is pretty nice, guys, because if you have full cooldown reduction, you have your ultimate ready every 10 seconds, and you can actually take a lot of damage and just heal the damage by recasting your eyes. Like right here, since I have half of HP, if I go back to ice and then I cast the skill, I can take more damage because again I was able to heal. It should be 20% of my HP and my mana, so that's pretty nice. Well, other thing that I want to tell you is that you can do pretty much the same, guys, with different elements. You can of course cast both of the elements so that you can get the best out of the damage, and then you can switch back to ice and then cast it again, but this time you'll be healed. Now, since I also do have magical spell bump, that's why I also heal by my other elements. But that's pretty much it, guys. Now, if you can do this with all of your elements, but if you have, let's say if you have your wind element, you can cast your elements twice as well. You can cast it, you can push the enemy. Oh shit, since I switched elements, that's why I was able to heal, and I stunned the enemy, and I was able to survive thanks to the guardian scepter. So guys, pretty much this is it that I wanted to tell you. Again, you can use your same element twice, like right here. I use it once, lifesteal or spell bump, and then I use it again, but this time it is going to proc my passive. So that's why in 2 attacks I was able to go back to half of my HP. Now I already do have full cooldown reduction, so you're gonna notice that if I switch back to fire, I cast a spell, I heal, I'll be able to have my ultimate ready within 10 seconds. As you can see, 10 seconds, which is pretty spammable. She actually excels with magical damage. She has very low spell resistance, and she has somewhat of an okay armor that would be physical. She doesn't have a lot of HP. She is very squishy, but again, she is like a glass cannon, and if you're invisible, you can actually keep healing yourself. If you don't hit anything, you can just switch between elements and keep casting so that you regenerate your HP. So from what I see, she takes a lot of skill. She's very different, guys. You actually have to play with her in so many different ways that you can get the best of it. As of right now, what I do is I level up my second first, and then I switch to fire element so I can go ahead and start clearing the waves before my enemy. And honestly, it is a lot of damage, guys. It is a lot of damage. The only problem that I have at the beginning is that sometimes if you don't manage your mana well, you might run out of mana. But if you switch to your ice element, you just have to keep that in mind, that you can regain also some mana by doing that. Of course, in order for you to proc the abilities, you would have to cast a spell once you are in one state of an element. For example, you want to get the attack speed, the movement speed, as well of your wind element, you would actually have to cast one spell for those buffs to be applied. Again, that is why I was trying to show you that with ice you can heal, regenerate your HP, your mana. You get a buff for 5 seconds that is going to enhance your recovery. However, the point of changing elements is you have to cast one spell in order for you to be able to get the buffs. Now, you can play with her elements very very much. It's a lot of things that you have to take in consideration, because before you can stun with your two of your eyes, you would actually have to have the enemy debuffed first with your one. So it's pretty interesting, guys. Honestly, it is a very interesting champion. um Let me check her name. The thing is that since I translated the page, her name on the Chinese server, of course, it's different. Okay, her name is Aderyn. Aderyn. Well, that's her name. And the other guy, Mr. Shinrong, I already fought against that champion. I haven't gotten the champion. I will get it soon. But from what I was able to see, it is pretty OP, honestly. You have a spell that gives you movement speed, and you're immune to crowd control. You're not gonna be able to get stunned, pulled, rooted, anything like that. And you have a spell that apparently follows you. I haven't seen how exactly it works, but I juked the spell, and then the sword followed me and hit me 3 times, 2 or 3 times, and then I got disabled. It was pretty nasty, guys. But that is all that I wanted to tell you guys. This is pretty much a fight against bots, because as you know, guys, I'm not able to play during the day, and if I try to play right now, I'll be lagging. I do have a match with this champion. It's actually the second match that I played. I have only played 2 matches against real players, and the rest is gonna be actually bots, because right now I wanted to see how everything is working, and thanks to that, I was able to find out different things that I was not aware of. So I do hope that anything that I said, guys, for example, the scaling of the spells, it is something that you didn't know, but now you know, guys. So thank you so much for watching the video. If I can go ahead and later on upload a video with more information, so that way I'll try to make it more clear. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Oh, and props to the bots that I have on my team. They were fucking awesome, guys. They were raping. They were playing better than a lot of players that I know. Even me, guys. They were doing amazing, guys. Amazing. So thanks for watching, guys.